we've been working a lot on the house and it's been a lot of work. Honestly, not all good, but it's been great to see the progress that we've made. So we want to put the kitchen counter here on the lowest side. We didn't really think ahead. We want to use some pallets, but it's a little bit too high. So when I put the pallet here, it comes up to almost my chest. So the good thing with cob is we can get it wet and take some of it off, bring it down a little bit lower, and hopefully it works out. Welcome back to our channel. If this is your first time tuning in, remember to hit that subscribe button. We're currently working on building a tiny home out of cob. We started this project last year and we've documented the whole build. You can find the rest of the episodes of this build in our cob home playlist. Enjoy! I look around at the dogs running around and the birds chirping, and I think, like, at least we're in a beautiful environment. I think being reminded
this is what happened behind the scene.
Listo. So we've been working a lot on the house and it's tough work, but looking at these little puppies is just a beautiful reminder of the environment that we're in. We're surrounded by nature. I can't imagine trying to build a house like this for months in the city.
The beautiful thing is that in the morning is that we have our own concert of birds.
So I was a bit nervous how the table was going to turn out once I started breaking into the cob wall last night. Hadn't really looked up any videos on YouTube, just was going with my gut. But I'm happy to say that it's coming along pretty nicely, which is a little bit of a surprise. Growing up, I always wanted to live in a big city. I grew up maybe 40 minutes from Seattle, and I've lived in a number of big cities, and I always thought, like, that's where the action happens. That's where real life occurs. I mean, there's a natural appeal to just more people, more vibrance, more life, more things to do. But those things to do, like, 2 points. First, a lot of people can't actually afford those things, and they're so busy working that they don't have the time to do those things, so they don't take advantage of those benefits of being in a city.
For me, nature is where I find my peace of mind. When I was a kid, I used to talk to the birds and talk to the trees and playing by myself. Being in nature, you can connect with yourself and the world.
Finally got to the point where we're working on the loft to put the bed up. We're putting the holes in the ground in order to put the pillars up, and then we're gonna put a cross beam and then have additional beams running the opposite direction to put the mattress on. I can work, I can keep up with a fast-paced lifestyle, but why? For what? Like, for me, being out in nature has taught me so much about myself and has helped me do the work to figure out who I am and what I want and what I want to do in this life. When I was in the city, I was just going non-stop. I was distracted, I was busy, and I didn't have time for any of those questions.
We are applying this waterproof protective coat for the protection of this wood that will be the pillars that will support the bed.
We just dropped the pillars in. Now we're filling the outside of the hole with cob, which is our form of natural cement. We decided not to go with cement. We want to do everything as natural as possible. We'll see how it goes. It's pretty sturdy so far. Looking back at past civilizations, like we used to be hunters and gatherers, we naturally gravitated to being in nature, and then at a certain point we started cultivating crops, and then we stayed in one place. So what brought us to big cities, work essentially for a lot of people, it doesn't actually apply now. A lot of people realize that they can work remotely, or they can work seasonally, or they can look for different options outside of the city where they're still able to get a competitive salary without having to live in the big city. But a lot of people, myself included, never considered leaving the city because it's all I knew. Like it's what we become accustomed to because it's what we're born into. I think a lot of people have gone through seasons of their life where they suffer to find purpose. Like, why am I here? What am I doing? And being out in nature, watch animals just eating the grass and running and sleeping, and watching everything work together and connect and just exist. It seems like it's so intentional. Like, yeah, that's what they're here for. Like, that's what they're meant to do. Today is a very important day. We just finished the bed, at least the frame of the bed. So that's what we're sitting on. It's pretty exciting. Something new, something accomplished. I think thinking back to living in the van, we could go anywhere. We had no limitations. We weren't worried about getting to work on time or being in any particular location. And we chose to spend 95% of our time in nature, at national parks, in the middle of nowhere. We were almost never in big cities. And I think instinctually, it showed us where we're meant to be, where we want to spend our time. Because when we had absolute freedom, that's where we were. In nature.
Yes. This will be our view from the bed.
We're gonna try to put a window in tomorrow.
Ciao, Tarzan. Ciao. Bye. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you like our channel.